We are 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Finally, but also thank you. So I honestly think it's a miracle that I've reached this point when YouTube has done nothing to promote me. They do not. Oh, there's a bird. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, sorry. Hear that? Also, I've cut my hair. It's the first time you see me with my hair cut. So anyways, I just want to thank you. I really thrive of any interaction I can get on this channel because it is so small. So really thank you from the bottom of my heart. And the fact that it's happening like as I move to Thailand is really big for me. Now, to celebrate and also reminisce a little bit, I have found a video on my old channel and I really want you guys to watch this video with me because it's gonna be a cringe fest, but we're gonna have fun together. So let's get into it, darling. So this video is from the 23rd of September in 2017. That is almost 5 years ago. I'm so fucking old. This is like 18 years old Axel. This is literally only like 4 months after I've discovered the word of BL. So this will be interesting. Hi, my name's Axel and today we're going to talk about boys love. First of all, my name is not Axel, it's Axel. The cringe, oh my god. I was a literal baby. Oh my god, what the fuck is that from? So first of all, what is boys love? Boys love is a genre of TV shows and movies originating in Asia. So it could be any country from China, Thailand, Korea, but mostly Thailand. So mostly Thai, but there's also a bit of Chinese and Korea sprinkled on top. So boys love is a story, love story between two boys. Usually it's set in high school or college. So yeah, that's basically it. First of all, like, it's interesting to know that nowadays it being set in high school and college wouldn't really be a factor at all. Actually, the BL shows that I watch today, most of them stray away from that because I'm tired of that. That's literally the whole plot of the story, a love story. Sometimes there's only one main couple and there are often more than one. Usually they're like, all same sex. Honestly, like, this Axel looks so different from me. So you know what, I'm gonna talk about the 6 TV shows that I've watched. So we're gonna start with SOTUS, the show that I always talk about. SOTUS, the series. So it's the first one I've watched.
And if you want to know how I got into boys love or BL, which sounds a little bit like bullshit, but it's not into boys love. I got into it like most shows I've watched so far. Thanks to Tumblr. So Tumblr is amazing. Every time I see a GIF that's in
I was trying so
from
hard,
a show, I look
like,
at the title
so
of the show and I note it in my head. And if I see this show like every day of my life, I start thinking it's a good show, so I watch it. Basically, the story of my life. So I watched SOTUS because I saw GIFs on Tumblr and it seemed cute and everybody was like, watch it, it's the best boys love story of all time, which I didn't know what boys love story was at the time, so, you know.
So I watched it. And because it's the first one I've watched, it's probably the cringiest in my mind because it's not... You've got to know something about Asian drama. Is that it's not the same thing as Western dramas. It's... You don't say. It's really weird. There are those things that we are not used to see. And it's so freaking interesting. That's so great because I love learning about another culture. I sounded so fake in that. So it's just amazing to see different techniques used in another country to convey the same emotions that we would convey in a... Yeah, that is true. I still agree with that to another way. So that's great.
Now, I forgot to warn you, this is gonna be a long video. And secondly, if you...
Nothing has changed since then.
Someone like me who gets a lot of secondhand embarrassment, which means if something
that was me at the time
happens on screen, you're gonna cringe so much that you're gonna blush and want to pause the TV show or movie you're watching because it's so embarrassing that you're embarrassed even though it's not happening to you.
That was me.
That's me, and you're gonna have plenty of those in every show. That's not just...
Now I have news, like, for past Axel, I literally never cringe anymore. Like, You can show me the most like ridiculous shit, I will just like or laugh, but that will be it.
SOTUS was the strongest in my mind because it was the first one and I wasn't used to it. But you're gonna cringe a lot, like a lot. This is not a joke.
So SOTUS is a good story. The actors aren't that bad. They're not like the best actors I've seen. They're good actors. They're cute. The story is very I was shading hard, bitch. I didn't even know their names at the time. Entertaining, which is the case for every boys love stories. The pining shit, it's cute. But the thing is, it's quite cringy because I'm gonna explain to you. I will put on a clip to show you how it is. But when there is a moment between the couple, like, oh my god, they held hands, or he said some cute thing to him, oh my god, you know, shit like that. The moment is they're gonna put a sound to show you that it's not normal, like it's a cute moment. So yeah, and they're gonna show the... Yeah, that is so true. You know, this is the kind of shit that I get used to now. Like I don't even like notice it, but it's true that like Thai dramas love using like sound effects to show like this is an important moment, you need to care so much right now. And yeah, it is unsettling when you watch as like a Western person that's really not used to that. Now again, couldn't faze me less. TBH. Moments again and again and again from different angles. So I was originally going to provide clips of the shows I've talked about so you could see for yourself, but a certain Thai channel blocked the first videos. No, because it's, you know what's fucking hilarious right now? The fact that GMMTV blocked my video 5 years ago and they're still doing that shit now to me. When you're not used to it, it's so disturbing. You're like, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? But you know, you get used to it. It's not like the most terrific acting ever, but every actor in every BL shows I've watched wasn't that bad and was pretty good, or sometimes even better. So you know, so yeah, I can't really judge the acting that well because I don't understand what they're saying. This past Axel hadn't seen Afghan in Not Me and Bilkin PP in I Told Sunset About You yet. So now let's talk about an issue that it's the plague of BL shows. It's what I like to call a 5-year-old kiss. In a lot of BL shows, the kisses... I thought I was gonna talk about the I don't like guys but I like him trope, which I'm still criticizing now in 2022. You know what, let's listen to what past me had to say, and I will tell you my argument to say that I don't feel that way anymore at all. 1 lip, 2 lip, it's that.
But that's not how you kiss. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do a class about kissing. Even if it's like weak, simple kiss.
This is so slow, my editing sucks.
One another, you're not like, oh my god, we're kissing. Our lips are touching.
That's for me the biggest drawback from BL shows and from SOTUS in general, is that their kisses aren't bad. They're not like disgusting. I'm not like barfing in a corner of my room, but I mean... No, we need to talk about it. You see, when I say I was fetishizing, like all I cared about was like the physical intimacy and the kissing, and I think part of it was because I was so used to Western shows, and part of it was that I was literally obsessed with gays kissing. Like that was unhealthy. I was like, honestly today I could not care less about a kiss unless it's like amazing, like the Sean White kisses. Yeah, I only have Not Me in my mind, don't come for me. But usually like I could not care less about the kiss. Like they can do the 5-year-old kisses, I'm happy. Like if the ship is well developed and cute, I do not give a fuck. And that's because I understand now that cultural differences are a thing. Therefore you cannot expect a Thai show to have an explicit kiss scene when like kissing was banned on TV until like 10-15 years ago in Thailand. It's so ridiculous. We've waited like 13 episodes to see them kiss, and I hope so. We get is that's for me, that's the most ridiculous thing ever in boy love stories. Another drawback of BL stories. That is so funny because now it's my favorite thing. I love waiting. I love the wait. I love the lack of PTA. I love that there's like 2 kisses in a whole show, and like those 2 kisses are so much more impactful because I've waited so long and because they're so rare and so small. But you know the impact of it, the emotional impact of it on the characters. Is that they often, it's not in every show. Some shows are a little better at that, but they always have to specify that they're not gay. Like in SOTUS, there's a moment when the character calls his love interest, admits his feeling to him, and he's like, I know you're a guy, I know I'm a guy, but I still love you, bitch, you gay. It was so ridiculous on so many levels because this is literally a show about 2 guys that are definitely not straight. And you know, by episode 10, there's like this phone call where
I know you're a guy, I know I'm a guy, but you know, I still love.
Oh, I'm crying. To be fair, I do think that Kung Bop and Atit like are bisexual actually, but you know, again, closeted me, dumb me, fetishizing me. Now, a little better about that. Yeah, we got that. We have eyes. That's a problem because most BL shows do that. Though I fucking agree with what I was saying. Like, I understand not putting labels, but like trying to completely refute the fact that this is a queer show sounds a little not great to me. That shit. So, you know, that's annoying, but they're pretty cute. The story is entertaining. So I know I'm kind of meant to say whatever. Would I recommend the show to you? Yeah. Oh, I was so hesitant on SOTUS. My opinion like has sort of remained the same. I still recommend it. I think like SOTUS now has gotten like so much backlash. I feel like every show that is really fucking popular, like after like a year or 2, starts getting backlash when everyone like was praising it like a year earlier. And I don't like that. It feels a bit hypocritical. And SOTUS like is a good show. Is it the best show? No, for me it has never been. Even when I first watched it, it was never the best show. And it has its flaws. Not really the 5 years old kisses, but more the I don't like guys but I like him trope. But like it's honestly a solid show. I would recommend this show to anyone. Like for me it's a staple in BL. Now 2 Moons, this one still hurts, bitch. We're kicking it up a notch. Why? Because we're talking about my favorite BL show. Yeah, 2 Moons is my favorite BL show. We shall see about that. It's really on another level. Now, although there are still awkward moments, the acting is as good as in SOTUS, and the actors have more chemistry in my book. In 2 Moons, there were way less second-hand embarrassment on my part, so I think it's kind of... Bitch, I was struggling for my life talking in that fucking video, what the fuck? An indication that it's better. Now, what I love about this TV show, it's about a group of 6 friends, and they're all literally gay or bi, and they're all gonna... This was like the staple for BL, like, oh, they're friends and they're all gay or bi. Yeah. Today I'm like expecting a little more from a BL shows to be aged, like become couples. So in season 1 there's only 2 couples, which is a common trope in BL. Like a lot of shows are like this. And what I love about that is true is that there's no denying that. Like, yeah, they're not all coming out like, oh my god, I'm bi, I'm gay, but they're not like, I know you're a guy and I know I'm a guy and I know that it's kind of wrong, but I still love you. No, bitch, no. That is true. But that my favorite thing about this show is the secondary couple, which is often the case. So the secondary couple is Ming, so Wayo's best friend. So he's straight and Wayo he's obviously gay.
And they're like a really cute friendship. They're really supportive of each other. He's always here for Wayo. So he's presented as that awesome friend who don't give a fuck about his sexuality, and who is always supportive and really funny, and he's literally the best character of the show in my opinion. Yeah, I love it. Ming is like my bae. He's hot, clever.
Yeah, honestly that hasn't changed. I love Ming. like an icon bisexual, of course, but more than that, I always love the goofy characters who are 100% themselves. Like, it's a rule, if there's one character like that in a show, it's my fave. It is
cute, funny, I mean, yeah, and supportive too.
but then he sees Kit, which is Fana, so Boy's love interest. It's not Fana, it's Fana. Yeah. No.
Best friends.
So Kit is, yeah, Fana best friend, and he's kind of like, oh shit, I'm not that straight. And he's like, yeah, okay. He shrugs and he goes on to pursuing Kit, which is the most adorable and so great thing to do. Can you tell I've always had an obsession with like characters that discover themselves to be bisexual? Here you have someone who has identified as straight for most of his life, and he just see a cute boy and he's like, okay, I'm not that straight. Me with girls. That's amazing, and their story is great, and they have great chemistry, and it's so cute, and I ship them so much. They've saved. Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking to watch though. 2017 in terms of ships for me. So they're so cute, adorable. Go watch this show, it's amazing. I really recommend. If I was to recommend one show, I would recommend that one, because it... Now I have things to say, babes, because like it's so sad, but I do not care for Two Moons in the way I used to. It's been a while. It's been 5 years. Again, like, you know, I've evolved so much that I can't say that I love them as much as I used to. I will always love them to a certain extent. I think it's an okay show. I think for the time it was really good. Today it's been overdone. Like college friends that all date each other, babes, we've seen that. I'm over that. That's all I gotta say. Now, Waterboy the series. Oh my god. Sorry. So this show, it's so wrong in so many ways, and I know a lot of people were excited because it comes from a movie, a BL movie that like was released years ago, and there is one actor, so one of the main actors, one of the actors in the main couple, come from SOTUS, and he was my favorite character in SOTUS. So I was like, I'm talking about you. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, I gotta watch it. Holy shit. Holy. Let me like explain. So it was the most cringy show. Like literally the most cringy. I don't know, everything was cringy. The two main characters sometimes had chemistry, sometimes it was so awkward. There's a crotch grabbing scene. I remember that. I remember the crotch grabbing scene. Wait, I couldn't. I closed my computer and like went for a walk. I was the second-hand embarrassment, man. Yeah. So I was tempted so many times during this show to literally quit watching it and go on to my life, because it was really bad, really bad. So my first issue with this show is that there is a rape scene and it's not shown as a pattern for BL shows. This old Axel didn't know about Tarn type yet. She had seen nothing yet, bitch.
So, I'm not gonna show it because
obviously,
it's
bitch.
Really disturbing, like really disturbing.
It really
I was
is.
really shocked. Honestly, it made my blood boil or something. That's awful. So there's that, and it's not addressed. Like at the end, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk about last night." When you literally raped me, yeah, I mean, yeah. And then they go on, and they're like, "No, bro, we're not together." Holy shit. And then at the end, of course, they get together.
And then there's also this horrible trope of in BL when two guys obviously... Axel, baby, you should have cut that. We love each other but still have girlfriends. So in here there's only one who has a girlfriend, but of course the girlfriend is horrible, because if she was nice we wouldn't want the two boys to be together. And yeah, so they love it. Once again, babes, like, this is all the things I've talked about in my BL tropes I hate video. I was saying it from the beginning. They can't be with each other until literally the last episode.
That's so annoying because there are always unnecessary girls involved, even in 2 moons. No, yeah, the show, there's only boys in this show. That's a little disturbing. The girls are not only here to be love interests, you know, so yeah.
So there's a lesbian character, so a girl who's presented as lesbian, it's pretty clear, who turns out to be bi, and I know it's not a big deal, it's totally cool. Yeah, it's totally cool. But I felt like it was very, very badly done, because while she was in love with another girl, she also had those weird cringy moment with a guy. It was so badly done. I couldn't agree more about Pan. I still agree that she was presented as a lesbian. A lot of people didn't get that. Obviously, I'm all for bi representation. Obviously. The thing is, she's presented like as a tom. Tom meaning tomboy, meaning masculine presenting lesbian. This is the term in Thai, babes. So there is no like, it's just they turned like a lesbian straight. I don't even think they believe in the concept of like bisexuality. I still hate that fucking moment. To watch it to understand it, but at the same time I don't want to recommend that show. It was bad. So just trust me. Yeah. No. So in this show, is the couple cute? Yeah. Is the kiss the best out of every BL shows I've ever watched? Hell yeah. The kiss wasn't that good. It was a okay kiss by today's standards. But at the time, oh bitch, it was the best. Their kiss is phenomenal. But can I get over the scene I've watched? No. Girl, absolutely not. His stories. Oh so this show is kind of the least traditional of the 6 shows I've watched. So it's about so each season is about another story, and so it's kind of, if you put everything, I am making no sense. What the fuck am I talking about? Together from each individual seasons, it kind of makes 3 movies, and the stories are awesome. The actors are great. I don't have anything bad to say about this show. So the first one, story-wise, is the best story. It's so great. The idea behind it. I'm a writer, so I was like shocked. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea, and I couldn't. I've watched it so rapidly because I really wanted to see how it was gonna end. The first one is really not that good actually, but so I really recommend the first one. The middle one is kind of it's cute, but it's the least. The second one is now my favorite. I mean, I haven't watched it in years. I do think it's the best though. I'm not saying it's bad. It's probably better than most BL shows I've watched, but out of the 3, it's the least. It's my least favorite. And in terms of kissing and sex scenes and shit, the third one, even though the storyline is all over the place, like all over the place, it's so good. Like, you see the actors have amazing chemistry. They're not shy to kiss and to have like almost sex on screen. So that's great. That's so interesting. I cannot believe I said that. Oh, I was so fetishizing. It was bad. It was really bad. That's so well done. That's so well put together. So yeah, that's amazing. So I would really recommend it. It's my second favorite show next to 2 Moons. Yeah. His story is honestly a really important show as well, I think. Especially since the first season was okay. Honestly, it doesn't quite hold up today. But excuse me, History to Crossing the Line, literally the best fucking my favorite BL show for years. I adore that show. Lovesick, the series. And this, I think this is gonna be my most diverging opinion today.
So now when I tell you that actors from BL shows go from one show to the other. It's really the case because there's 3 actors I already knew in Lovesick. So there was one of the main characters who was in Waterboy, and he was my favorite character, the only character I could stand. That was amazing. Another character from Waterboy too, who is not really very important. He's a very secondary character, but he's there for the 2 seasons. So another secondary character is from SOTUS. So you know, it's always the same actors. And one of the actors in it is also one of the actors in the original movie for Waterboy.
Oh, no.
So you know,
that was top up.
So
Sorry.
Lovesick, as I
That
understand,
was
is the first boys love show to have made it to the screen in Thailand, and or at least the first boys love show to have been adapted from a novel, which is literally every show now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lovesick is kind of the first one to have become insanely popular.
Nana, it was the first boys love series ever made, actually. Before that, it was only yaoi mangas and Japanese movies.
Which I don't know if you've noticed, but I've only watched the very popular BL shows because they're popular for a reason, usually. Except Waterboy. Waterboy was a mess. But usually they're the best because...
That's because literally every BL show at the time was the most popular because there were like 6 out.
I've tried watching other BL shows and I couldn't get through the first like 10 minutes, so it was that terrible.
So it's a very great story with 2 great actors. They have a great chemistry between them. The intimacy between them, there's not a lot of cases, but the intimacy is...
I'm surprised that I'm saying that. I don't remember liking Lovesick that much on my first watch. It's actually really my second watch that I was like, actually that it's like a fucking, like, it's my comfort show. I watched it 7 times now. I genuinely adore that show. I could not live without it.
It's like there are a lot of moments cuddling, kissing on the cheek, hugging, and all that shit that couples do. And it was really...
Not that I would know. Oh, nothing has changed since I was 18.
Cute. The intimacy was strong. The cuteness was very, very strong. But I almost quit a few times. Why? Because they dragged it way too long.
So for like 20 episodes they both have
and
girlfriends.
That's where I
disagree.
Let's hear what I have to
they
say.
clearly love each other, but oh my god, it's kind of wrong to be with the boy, oh my god. So there's that. So they have girlfriend. They drag the story. They drag it. They could have done it in a season. They did it in 2, and the second season is like 36 episodes, which is like 4 seasons in 1. It's so long. It's so long, but it's cute. But it's so long. It's insanely long for a love story that literally could have been solved in a season, in a single season. You know?
Also, yeah, as I said, there's not a lot of kissing scenes. There's 1 kiss in season 1, and then the others are...
So I do agree with that, like, I disagree with that, but I agree with that in the fact that, like, the novel is so short. It could have been a single season without any issue, but I love that Lovesick is so long. On my first watch, I was annoyed by that. Now I love it. It's my favorite thing about this show because it really has this slice of life element that is unmatched. And so now when I see those 48 episodes, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna like be with my fave characters Poon and No for 48 episodes. It's so good. You really learn to know them, to love them. You get really invested in the story and the characters. So does it drag out? Yeah, of course. It's 48 episodes of like a very basic plot. But because Poon was so good, you hold on and then you do a second rewatch and it becomes a fave. Like honestly, this show only gets better on the second rewatch, and every rewatch I've done has made me love the show more.
So they kiss a lot in season 2, like 3 or 4 times, which is a lot in BL.
That's true. At the time it was a lot. Today it's nothing.
And it's never shown. Never. Which is annoying because bitch, what? There's 36 episodes in your season and 20 where they have girlfriends. Bitch, come on, we want to see them kiss, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so it's annoying, but it's a cute show. Would I recommend watching it? I don't know. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you like it.
You need to watch Lovesick. It's BL history and it's so good. I love that show.
Yeah. Make It Right, the series. So this show is the one which left me the most weirded out, because it's, in terms of intimacy, it's off the charts, especially for the secondary couple, which actually became popular than the main couple.
So in this show, everyone is gay, like literally. It's a big group of friends, 10 guys or more, and they all turn out to be gay or bi, which I said is a classic trope for BL, which is a little unrealistic, but I mean, how many shows are they where there even one gay or bi character?
So what shook me the most about this show is that it discusses sex very openly. And it's sometimes even too...
Yeah, that is true. And it's about high schoolers.
Even too openly. Like, they talk about their asses bleeding after rough anal sex. And I'm not, like, exaggerating. So, yeah, it's crazy because... it's so explicit, but it's so weird because on the other side, well, the kisses aren't that convincing. They're a mix in between SOTUS and Two Moons. Not that great.
There's the same fart pooping jokes as in Lovesick, which in Lovesick I know it means...
Literally do not remember the pooping jokes in Lovesick.
Like, it was so annoying. I felt like I was 5 years old. It was annoying. And in Make It Right, it was also very annoying. So.
And also, lastly, they also very openly discuss who is a bottom and who is a top, and there's no reversing it, which is just so unrealistic, because if you've like read actual studies, you would
my opinion like on the top bottom trope hasn't quite changed, in the sense that I don't think it needs to be the focus of a show at all. My issue is that I do not care, and I do not need to know which character is the top and which character is bottom, whether they're versatile or not. I do not give a fuck. I'm here for the love story, not the sex, which was quite different from like my standpoint at the time.
It's so unrealistic, and it's kind of heteronormative. Not that I'm saying that gay people who are exclusively tops or bottoms are heteronormative, but what I mean is this show are showing that there is no way a small guy could fuck the bigger guy his way, which is kind of cliche.
Oh, I was like a lot more like unhinged at 18. Like now in my videos, like I do swear because I swear a lot. Do I talk about guys fucking though? No, but I do agree that it is very like, I've talked about it. Go watch my videos on the top 10 BL tropes I hate. I do not care about the sexual positions of people or characters. It's just that if there's only one way that things can be, that's when it starts becoming problematic.
That's what weirded me out about this show, is that on one hand you've got those guys openly discussing having gay sex, and you've also got a relationship with an effeminate guy, which never happens in BL, like every time in every show.
I do agree that like still to this day, Lokmo and I don't remember the other character, his boyfriend, they are my favorite ship from that show. They were really important and underrated as fuck.
Will it be SOTUS? Two Moons, I'm not flipping you off, I'm sorry. In Lovesick too, there's that. In the first season only, there are always those effeminate gay guys that are very effeminate, like very effeminate. And not that there's something wrong with it, but they're kind of shown as a counterpart for...
There is nothing wrong with it, it's just the way I fucking said it.
And bi guys that are main characters to the show. Yeah, so what I don't like in BL, so that is that it's like the main characters are gay, but they're not effeminate, so they're not that gay. You know, it's kind of the exception. It's kind of weird, you know. And I've always hated that because they don't showcase effeminate gay guy.
But they do in
I do agree with that.
Make It Right, which is amazing. So there's this very obviously gay guy. He's not hiding it. He's not pretending. He's great, and he's in the season 2 he enters a relationship with another guy, and that's great. And for once we see an effeminate guy not being a sexless guy just here to be a comparison compared to the main characters, but to be a real...
I have a full video on the effeminate gay guy trope. Go watch it.
Who gets a boyfriend in the end, which is amazing. I was so happy about that. And yeah, so on the other hand, you have open discussion of sex, an effeminate gay guy getting actually a boyfriend, and also a bisexual guy literally coming out and not using bisexual because that would be too
always plays like either bicons or gay icons.
awesome, but I mean he says. But yeah, on the other, you've got the fact that the sex is very heteronormative and no gay man is versatile.
Bitch, my editing, I'm struggling.
Style. So yeah, this show kind of surprised in good and bad ways because it was so confusing. It was like one scene was just so freaking awesome and the other was like terrible.
Also, the secondary couple, their first time is kind of, I wouldn't say that it could be taken as it's kind of.
Yeah, both first times in this show, like Fuse is drunk when he has sex with him, and Frame forces Book to have sex with him, like when he clearly doesn't want to.
It kind of resemble the in Waterboy, which is sad because the secondary couple, as I said, has intimacy and chemistry off the charts. Like literally, I think they've got the most chemistry out of everyone, every couples in every BL shows. It's like they're really in love in real life, which is awesome. So yeah, they are amazing, but their first time having sex is really, yeah, I won't show it either because
thank goodness.
It kind of makes me uncomfortable. And also, yeah, it's not talked about after that. It's like normal.
So even though the secondary couple has the most chemistry out of every BL shows, I wouldn't really recommend watching this show. I think, I don't know, I ended up skipping every part that was on BL anyway because I wasn't interested. But this show left me really weird because it was entertaining, the couples were cute, but at the same time, I don't know. Not that.
Yeah, no, Make It Right is not good.
So weird.
Now let's talk about the best thing in BL shows, which is not cute boys kissing. It's the group of friends. And in every BL shows except His Story, because it's really centered about the two main characters, but there is a big group of friends that is so supportive, so funny. They're the comic relief of the show. They're just so awesome, and they always ship the two main characters together because that's what they for. They're like, bitch, go date him, and it's so cute. The group of friends is just amazing.
Now my thing, oh my god, it's so dark. Okay, I'm rushing. Now I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like most group of friends are fucking basic and kind of boring. Like you could switch the group of friends and they almost all have the same personality. They almost always sound the same. It's boring. The only like amazing group of friends, oh no, there's Lovesick as well. Lovesick has a really strong group of friends, and Theory of Love. Theory of Love really is about the friendship. I've always said it's a friendship show.
The best thing out of BL shows, you end up loving them even more than the main characters, which is not the goal. Honestly, I've never seen a comic relief in a show.
Yeah, I gotta say like that Thai comic reliefs are superior. Like they're my favorite thing. I love them.
Funnier than the group of friends in BL, like except maybe Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Wait, I was already watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine 5 years ago. I literally watched it finally like last week. Oh, this is such a full circle moment. What?
There's no show that I found funnier. I've laughed so much watching BL shows,
that is
and
true.
it was kind of impressive because this is not supposed to be that funny. But between the comic relief of the group of friends and also the fact that a lot of things are cringy, and because I get second-hand embarrassment, I gotta laugh to make it all out. Well, I laugh a lot.
So now let's talk about the main issue of BL. It's made for fangirls like me, which is weird, right? It's weird that you would make a show about gay guys or bi guys, not for gay guys and bi guys, but for fangirls.
And they're often mocked in shows, so they were mocked in His Story, the second season. They were mocked
Again, go watch my videos on the 10 BL tropes I hate.
in what? I think, make it right at one moment or another. They were mocked in Lasik a bit. They are often mocked. Like, there is the character of the fangirl that is completely obsessive and ships two guys together. Which, is it me? Yeah, not for real life guys. I don't go around in my school like seeing two guys speaking to each other and being like, girls! I only ship fictional characters to compensate for the lack of real love I've got going on in my life.
Again, nothing much has changed.
So I am well aware that this show are done to satisfy a feminine audience. They're not done for gay people in Thailand, Korea, or China.
Again, that seems to be slowly changing.
They're done for girls that wants to see two guys get it on, which is even weirder because often they don't get it on. It's like the 5-year-old kisses. We can all agree, I think, that BL shows contribute to gay
fetishization, how is it called?
fetishization.
TBH, I still struggle to say fetishization. So again, nothing has changed.
And it's so obvious that it's meant for fangirls because, as I said, there's always these very obviously gay guys, very effeminate gay guys that are shown in as a counterpart to the main characters and are meant to be laughed at and kind of mocked, and you're not supposed to find them attractive and you're not supposed to be interested in knowing more about their story because they're very effeminate guys, and the only guys that get a boyfriend in the end are the more masculine guys. To watch one or two BL shows, you're gonna see through the game of BL producers pretty quickly.
And just the fact that the other guy is often the exception. Yeah, some people fall with like one guy when they were straight, but usually a guy is gay or bi or pan or any other sexuality. But the thing is, they don't want to show that. They don't want to say that. And that's why I was shocked in Make It Right when the bi character literally came out.
Some people are gay and some people are bi, and producers need to take that into account.
You can't take the cuteness and hotness of two guys making out without taking the consequences. So, despite all the negative things I've just said, should you watch BL shows? And I'm gonna tell you right now that you should absolutely watch BL shows. Why? It's contributing to the fact that the more you watch it, the more it is produced. The more it is produced, the more it is watched. And the more it is watched, the more normal people are gonna see gay relationships. And yeah, it's probably mostly watched by girls. But
again, I don't think that's the case. I think now more and more like LGBTQ plus people are watching BL, especially in Thailand. We have seen how much like more and more BL shows are being produced every year. So what I was saying was right.
The thing is, it's still watched by people, and the more it is watched, the more it becomes common for two guys to be together. And the more it becomes common, the more we can hope that in Thailand and Korea.
Not China. I think it won't be happening.
In a few
Well, they literally banned any type of like queer gay content, so I was right again.
2 years, in 10 years, let's say, there will be same-sex marriage in these countries.
The bill is still getting rejected in Thailand, so whoops.
We can hope for that. And yeah, probably this is not the best thing producers could do, but it's the only thing they do. I think that yeah, the representation isn't always that good shows. As I said, Two Moons is great, his story is very, very great. So should you watch BL? Yeah, you should watch BL, especially if you're LGBT. Go
Why does this sound like a fucking TED Talk?
watch shows, and you don't have to be Asian to go watch it. There are some good shows. Honestly, the shows I've talked about are not bad. They're the best because I've kept watching them. If they were bad, I wouldn't have watched them till the end. So what I'm saying is, BL is good. it's not amazing, but for the country it is coming from, it's amazing, because 10 years ago this wouldn't have happened.
Not me belittling the countries it comes from. Bitch, am I gonna get cancelled over this? I promised I've changed. I don't think that way anymore.
And also, those shows were a good experience for me, sometimes even a great experience. As I said, they made me laugh so much, and they were hilarious, but also they made me discover a culture that I would have never discovered by myself, because in France it's not common to discover Asian culture that much. So it's great, because not only have I've contributed to making Thailand and Korea more LGBT friendly places, but I've learned things about their culture. So yeah, long live Boy's Love.
I'm not sure I've contributed to making Thailand and Korea more LGBTQ plus friendly places.
You should watch it. You should find the show that does it for you and that you find hilarious and funny and cute and
not me.
Great all around, because that's what it's about.
What a journey. First of all, I've gotten better at editing video. I still think I suck, but at that time, like, it was really terrible. And yeah, I actually still agree with most things I've said. Just certain things that I have changed my mind on. And I think it really shows the longevity of shows. Certain shows will get better with time. Others will completely fall off the radar for you. So I think it was a really interesting blast from the past. But anyways, thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. It really means the entire world for me. So yeah, thank you. I'll see you next time for a really chaotic packing video, and have a great day.